Year's guy?
What's that?
Like New Year's guy resolutions?
Nah. I all through the year, man. Like a lot of people do that and then they fall off and they're like, ah. Nah, I try to live like that. Yeah.
Niners Seahawks.
Well, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seahawks all day, every day. Twice on Sundays.
How do you come off of a game like you do? It's, I guess really both those games. You had some pretty strong words there. What's the morning after like to shake it off?
I'm a little different. I won't talk about really what I did and what I said, but we talked about some different things that I have to be authentic to myself, and there are parts of me that are different and come at them in a different way. And we watch film, but I came at them in a different way today, talking about some things, and you know, we all have a part in this. It's just that it ain't on them. I'm a part of that too, and it all stops with me. So figuring out how we go from that level of competition in 5 games, and then just going to LA and just not being to our standard. And what I would consider those 5 games was very much our standard. Like, we're going to compete every possession all night. Listen, there'll be times in a game where it's not there, but 90% of that thing need to be right. And unfortunately, we didn't do that. And I think we'll be able to tomorrow.
What bothered you most?
The compete part, like that the compete, because that's really what our game is about. That's why you play as a kid. You like the competition. You go out and you play, and you're competing to get better. You're competing to move up. So that part is like a non-negotiable for me. So that one that hurts me the most. Like, as a coach, you come in and there's a standard that you have to have to present yourself to your team, but what it feels like inside ain't that. It ain't what I'm feeling right now in front of you, but I have to own that as a coach, and I do, and make sure that they continue to improve and get better.
How do you feel about Keegan coming back, after those 2 games?
I was super excited always to see 13 in the uniform. Like, it's unfortunate that, like, he was hurt and he had to come back. Now he's got to work through that. Then it happens again. He's got to work through that, because as much as you want him to just go out there and just have everything flowing, there's a flow and a vibe to the game and an energy to the game that he's trying to find at the same time, and then not playing well, not playing with the right competitive greatness doesn't help him. But to know that he's there gives me like a comfy blanket, because I know that defensively we got another guy who is going to compete on that end. He's going to guard the best players. He's got size, athleticism. So all those things help me. But yeah, just happy to see him back
So
out there.
you see, he's not taking any plays off. He's giving you all the effort that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all of it. There were points in when he watched the film where he can be better. We all can be better. But the point is, he's playing from the right place all the time, and that's what Sacramento Kings basketball is about.
You have a Celtics coming in here and they lose someone like Tatum. I imagine you talk about playing with an identity. Is that, you see that with them, where they, even though he's gone, they're playing a certain Celtic style?
Yeah, I mean, that's a championship team, so they know what it took them to get there. So there's a standard inside of that that bulk of those players are still there, even though Tatum's gone. So even though the talent isn't there, that standard and what they stand for is always going to be that, which is that's where we're headed, is trying to make sure that our standard is the gold standard that we want to make sure that we're living by every day.
Do you ever just kind of look over at Zach and see his progression and kind of go, all right, you talked about the logjam as it is, and you've been able to find some things that have been pretty positive over the past few games or so.
Yeah.
And now the possibility of incorporating him into that,
Yeah,
just the
I mean,
challenges.
they're good problems to have, man. More talent. Just as a coach, you just you learn about those conversations and those moments, and you have to be able to figure that out, and then it's up to them to go out there and perform, obviously. But yeah, that's not a bad problem. That's a good problem. Yeah.
Nemias Cato, played
Yes.
here. What do you know about him? He's
Yeah,
played right now with the Celtics.
Yeah, one of my favorites here, man. I'm a big Nemi fan. We won a summer league together with B Jax, and long rim defender, athletic. There's a lot to Nemi. I used to sit in there and have conversations with him in the hot tub while he was soaking, and just talk to him about basketball, about life, a lot of different things, and super excited for him to watch his growth, being a champion, all those different things, because I always thought that he was could be a really good player in this league, and proud that he's found his way.
So it's no surprise to you.
Not at all. No. I wish we would have kept him around. I really enjoyed Beebe, but we got good young guys. We got what we got, and we're happy with Dylan and Max, and obviously Domas hopefully coming back soon, and Drew. But Nemi's he's a great kid at the same time. And he brought me some pastries from. Yeah. He brings the pastries.
Thanks, Coach.